this. These kids will show you what your house is. That's it. We have a great class today, and all of you are going to want to come hither. And I don't think I'm going to have to talk much today. We'll find out. I want to show you, there's only one thing to talk about today. You can't talk about anything else but threads. It doesn't make any sense to talk about anything else but threads. If you don't know what threads is, you're about to find out. But threads is Instagram's app. Now, for some of you, yes, ma'am.
Can I have a title? I'm note taking today.
Disciples and Threads. You are our master note taker today. Disciples and Threads. I'm finally going to cover disciples, and I'm going to use threads and artificial intelligence. But first, before we do that, as usual, I have videos. What I want to do is I want to show you that nobody knows anything. Okay. And don't be afraid to test and change. I'm doing the same thing with Rhino there. But you can't do this, Tracy, without disciples. Not genuinely. And I'll show you. I will show you, and we will get started right about now.
New messaging app called Instagram, working on a new messaging app called Threads that's not exactly like what we've seen from Snapchat before. Julia Borston is in Los Angeles with the details. Julia.
Well, John, a source close to the situation tells me that Instagram is internally testing a new app it's calling Threads. It's first reported by The Verge. Threads is designed for messaging or sharing photos and videos with your close friends on Instagram. It's effectively kind of like a spin-off of Instagram's direct messaging service, using the close friend list feature, which Instagram introduced last November. Now, a key feature of this new app is that users will be able to automatically share their status with close friends, such as if they're busy, working, watching TV, or they can even use GPS to share their general location or their speed to show you're on the move, though my source tells me they wouldn't share your exact location because of privacy concerns. Now, this is a perfect example of the new focus that Mark Zuckerberg announced in March, of shifting away from getting users to share to lots of people in their newsfeed and towards getting people to message with just their closest friends. Now, with concerns about Facebook's slowing user growth and with Instagram experimenting with removing like counts on posts, Threads' easy and even automatic sharing is designed to grow engagement. And Threads is yet another attempt to copy Snap, which has had success focusing on communication among close friends, with a streaks feature on Snapchat that encourages users to keep their conversations going. Now, Facebook shares are higher today. We see them up by about 1%. Snap shares are down by 2%. And my source tells me that they are working to launch Threads as an independent app, but ultimately the plan would be to integrate it with all of Facebook's different messaging services.
All right, we can stop right there. My friends, that was 3 years ago. You can see it right here. 3 years ago. And this video by CNBC only has 1,521 views. It was posted August 27, 2019. Let's flash forward to 18 hours ago.
Threads is a new app that Instagram released, and it's a text-based conversation app. You could still share photos and videos on there too. Threads is basically the direct competitor to Twitter, so you could actually follow other.
This time I'm going to pause a little bit. So it went from Snapchat, whether the information was wrong or not, to the Twitter killer. It's automatically a change one.
Users, just like other social media apps. You could also follow public conversations, and you could also post to it as well. And on your social feed, it will show you things from people you follow, as well as recommended content from other creators. Your post could be up to 500 characters long, and you could have links, you could have photos, and you could have videos up to 5 minutes. That's very useful. And they made it really, really easy to.
Okay, we're going to stop right here. The post could be up to 500 characters long. So while it is genuinely a Twitter clone that did not start off with 143 characters or whatever Twitter was, and videos can be up to 5 minutes long. That means it's going to be able to support TikTok videos, plus the average type of video that is on Facebook.
Up to 5 minutes. That's very useful. And they made it really, really easy to get started. You just have to have your Instagram account and you have to be logged into the Instagram app. You could do it on your iPhone or your Android. So to get it, all you have to do is go to your profile page. This is one way to get it. I'll show you a second way in a second. Click the 3 lines right over here. And as long as you have an update on your Instagram.
I also want to show you that if you already have Instagram, they made it easy to join just by simply clicking your profile picture and joining. Watch now how easy it is to fill out your profile.
Instagram app, you will see this option right here, which will pop this up, and all you have to do is press this option and it will bring you to the App Store. The other way is just go to the App Store and you could search for Threads and Instagram app, and it's available on iPhone and it's available on Android. So I'm gonna press open after I download it. And here's your homepage, and basically it's gonna let you log into whatever Instagram account you're logged into with the Instagram app. So it's gonna use this new app here, and you could switch accounts. So if you have multiple accounts, you could go ahead and do that. Again, you do have to be signed into Instagram. It's gonna use all the data from there to transfer this over. I'm gonna click my username. On this page right now, it's gonna ask you to, if you wanna bring your username over, and you could import directly from Instagram, or you could skip this and set this up later. I'm gonna go ahead and import directly from Instagram here. So the link here, the bio, and the name all get imported, and I could go ahead and press next. Then you could choose to be public, or you could also have a private account where you have to approve followers to follow you. I'm gonna choose public. And it says, do you want to follow the same accounts that you follow on Instagram? So all these accounts I follow on Instagram, so I could follow them using this app as well over here, or I could skip here. And then it's going to tell you how this all works. And I'm going to say join Threads. I'm going to allow for notifications. So this is the homepage of Thread here. You could basically scroll down here to refresh the page, but on the homepage, you will see the different posts. Again, they could be from people you follow, or they could just be suggested posts here as well. Over here, you could search for different people. So you could go ahead and search and follow people that way. So if I want to follow people, I just have to do that, but you could search.
All right, so I'll stop this here. I'll post you this particular link so you can learn how to use Threads. If you know how to use Twitter, it's genuinely no learning curve at all. Now, here is the data. As of 12 hours or something, Threads, probably less than that, already had 5 million users. Where you at, Tracy? Where you at? Already had 5 million users. I'm gonna try it again. I've been talking for maybe 1 minute. The videos have been talking for 6 minutes, well, 7 minutes. And Prophet Jerry was talking about some bad kids for 2 minutes. That's about 10 minutes of time. And in this, Instagram was able to have one of the fastest growing apps in recent history, giving OpenAI, ChatGPT, a run for its money, maybe, not maybe, because it built on, drum roll please, its current disciples. Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did there? When you have seekers, right now, anyone who's a seeker on Instagram is going, nah, I'm not going to do that. And if they do download Threads because they have social pressure, they're going to post something like, let me just see what this is about. If you go to Threads, I can assure you Gary Vee is already crushing it. It's not even close. Gary Vee is already crushing it. He's posting incredibly. In addition to that, you get to see more than just your timeline right now. So I guess it's kind of like a TikTok feed to where you're getting this master feed. You're getting this master feed as well. And in that master feed, you get to see people you're not even following. Now, I won't show you the mechanics or the gameplay. There's going to be tons of videos about that I don't need to do, and I don't desire to do that. I want to stick to what is a disciple, Why are they very important? I want to start with Threads, how it came to be. And I want to integrate throughout this entire conversation artificial intelligence. Let's start with artificial intelligence. One comment concerning artificial intelligence. To be honest with you, you can, if you're looking for new posts, you can just follow somebody that's in your particular field. Maybe, I don't know, Tracy, unmute your mic real quick. Tell me somebody you like. I have no idea. So somebody that's a leader in your industry that you're saying, yep, this is going to be something, right? A modeling after, or this is my competition, whoever that may be. Who is this particular person or company? And if she can't get to the mic, then one of y'all come around and hither.
I'm here, but I really can't think of anybody. And I think that might be an issue. I need to find someone to model or to example after.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Remind me. I'll have Grace to remind me. May be an issue. I'll come back to that in moments. Your hair looks nice today. I'll come back to that in moments. You can just take a post, put it in ChatGPT, and say, hey, give me 25 posts like this. I'm not sure what to say. Hopefully you're paying attention. I'm not really concerned with you talking or not. I'm way past that, because to be unkind, whether you get it or not, is a personal choice. And I'm okay with that. However, those of you who are attempting to listen, and since you need to make noise, it should be said that this is the first time that Adonia Dixon can dominate a social media since TikTok. And if you are honest with yourself, you slept on TikTok. Rewind, press play. You've been alive when LinkedIn first came out. You slept on that too. You was alive when Snapchat first came out. You slept on that too. Threads has been open for 24 hours. And once again, someone like me is going to tell you to do something great. And once again, most of you are going to go, wow, and do nothing. So let's try to have this conversation knowing that you should already be downloading Threads if you have not, considering that you have a personal brand and it's underpriced attention. And that underpriced attention is what you keep praying for. You keep praying, God, just make my business work. Yeah, you need underpriced attention. Give me an affordable way to show people I am Jerome. Yeah, this is it. But once again, you're going to say, well, the learning curve, or that's for young people, or no, it's attention. And you cannot make a disciple without attention. And I need to stress to you that Instagram launched this app 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. And it's already a big deal. And Mark Zuckerberg posted on Twitter for the first time in 11 years, the Spider-Man theme, pointing at you, pointing at me, the Spider-Man meme. It was obviously a shot because it is literally a Twitter clone. And people already are saying this is better. Now, of course, if Mark Zuckerberg is smart, and he obviously is, he would be immediately dealing with bots, fake clones, and spamming issues, which is a problem that obviously Twitter has. Users are exhausted from spam and bots. So if he's addressing that, it'll keep rising. Don't take my word. There's going to be, it's already millions of people. I have no idea. I haven't looked at no research. I haven't looked at the data because I don't really want to deal with the data. I don't even want to deal with threads. I don't even want to promote social media. I do want to say to this private group before me, when are we going to take our brand and wealth serious enough to be the first in line for once? I think that's relevant. I'm going to split this conversation up in 3 pieces. Put it down for me in chat, Jenna, so I don't forget. I want to talk about the 3
Can I ask
years.
a question real quick?
Mhm.
Because I went on Instagram while you were talking to try to, is it Threads? Is it its own app?
Yep.
So you have to download it as its own app. It's not in, because you say you can go on Instagram and look at your profile and get it that way, or just download it on its own.
It's his own app. As a matter of fact, if you go to whatever store you have, I think you have an Android phone, it is Threads and Instagram app is what you'll see. If you just type in Threads.
Got it.
Yep, absolutely. And Tracy, this is your time. And not only is it your time, but you're actually going to see who are your disciples. Plus, they're making it easy because when you go into it, it's going to tell people, like when Adonia goes into it, it's going to tell people, well, listen, here's the people on your Instagram. You want to just follow them? And it's going to tell Adonia's people the same thing. So anybody who's already following Adonia, just out of pure ease and laziness, instead of going through the list, they're just going to say, yep, that's fine. Here, click. And then you're going to have the opportunity to grow from scratch, but not from scratch.
Mr. Smith.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
After you done punched me in my face this morning.
I was
Appreciate
kind.
it.
I was very kind.
Listen to me. No. But see, that's the finesse you have, okay?
Fair
All right.
enough.
But you did. I'm telling you, like, bam. Because see, I don't have a problem raising my hand and say, I'm one of those people who do not take advantage of social media.
Yep.
I ain't got no problem with that. I
Fair
don't
enough.
post. I don't, I'll go through, I look at Facebook and make a comment and save something like that. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is that something that to get attention I need to do? Absolutely. And I haven't done it. Okay. And I have no complaint about you punching me in my face. Okay. I get that. All right. All right. And I deserve that. But this was going on in Jerome's head.
Talk
Okay?
to me, man.
Based on what you told me thus far,
Mm-hmm.
it would probably be to my benefit to go to Instagram, because I have an Instagram account,
Yeah.
or to go to my app store and download Thread and
Mhm.
blah, 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 and do all that you said. And I should also do some work too. But here's what my brain is telling me.
Fair enough.
Jerome, Mr. Smith is working on this project called Rhino Leg
Very hard.
that is going to blow up social media and everything that's out there. And if you haven't followed all those other ones before, which I haven't, Mr. Smith, I know I'm going to follow Rhino Leg. I already know. Okay. Matter of fact, you already know.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain is telling me that I don't mind doing what you told me to do today. But in the back of my head, I'm saying, Rhino Leg. What's Rhino Leg? Rhino Leg. Because when I put in all of that energy, and I'm going to, I said, damn, I'd be rather wanting to do it in Rhino Leg than this, and God bless them with this brand new app, and it's killing, and everybody's on top of it, and blah, 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 all of that. So that's what's on my brain right now, okay? and I hope you can receive what I'm trying
No,
to say.
it's a good brain because you made me
Okay.
remind me how I'm using threads differently. I'm gonna come back to you only because Law's got to hide in the booth. Law, come on, Law. As soon as he finished, I'm gonna jump right back to you, Jerome. He might get a customer call or something. So let me know when he hit down. I'm gonna keep going. Let me know when he hit. Law, if you can hear me upon your own time, just come in and break in because we know you're at work. Jerome, I hear you. And let me first say how I'm using threads. See, I don't really care about other people's social media. I used to care about being verified. I don't. I don't need, as soon as they start letting y'all pay to be verified, it just lost its value to me immediately. It just lost its value to me. I don't pay for clout. I earn that. I just have that. That's just my attitude about it. I don't, don't you say you can't buy me. She's not impressed with what you can do for her. She's impressed with who you are. Come on now, right? So that's like paying for a verification, a blue badge. It's like paying for a Adonia. It ain't gonna happen when it comes to me. Adonia, can we pay for you? Can we convince you that can we brainwash you with what we can do for you? Is this, I like getting her started.
My eyes are already rolling up the top of my head. Yes, I just dropped the app. That's why I was a little quiet. I said, let me just I heard it on the news yesterday, so I heard about it. Did I say, ooh, let me go look? No, I did not. I was like, oh, here goes another one. So whatever.
Fair
Just
enough.
whatever. But I just downloaded, uploaded, and I have two profiles, so I grabbed one of them. I'll have to figure out how to go get the other one. So I got it on my phone. Okay, I listened.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I got a little attitude in there, but I listened.
Well, you got to keep me alive. That's what the attitude is for. You got to keep me alive. I'm using threads differently. I don't really care about growth. What I'm doing, and I said this earlier this year and late last year, I'm sifting my audience. I'm only looking for super fans. This is what disciples are, super fans. So if you don't want to say disciple, you can say super fans. Okay, just so we're clear, you can say super fans. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm literally not following people I'm only following who I want to follow. I did my Instagram. In fact, if you go to my Instagram right now, it's only 3 pictures on there. I took all this stuff off. Bam. It just is what it is. So I'm using my threads just to find Jerome's and Adonia's and Tracy's and Prophet Jerry's, right? This is my goal. I don't care about numbers at this point. I care about quality because I'm launching my own things and I don't want fluff. I know that's gonna come, but if I can get let's look at Tracy for a moment. If I start, if just another time, another world, if I start dating Tracy and all I do is look good, I can't cook. I got a 397 credits go. My feet stink. What else? My breath. Oof, that's a whole story we can't even talk about. You can't take me nowhere in public. I have no prayer life, no worship life, and I just look good. You understand? These muscles don't even have no endurance. I can't fight. We both walking around in flip flops. Ain't neither one of us fighting today. I can't even protect you.
Tracy, you ain't got a chance. I'm gonna tell you, you ain't got a chance.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
can't fight. That was the ice. That was like the nut sprinkles on top of the cake.
Yes.
Antonio, you see that job video where she calls him out to beat the little guy for parking the parking space?
Oh yeah, I sure did.
Beat him up.
And he got beat up.
Packing the bag. He like, what you doing?
I forgot you watched Big John. I sure did. That was G Wayne. G Wayne beat up Big John. Yeah, I sure did see that video. Yeah, Yeah, and that's the old girl is Nay. We call her Nay. You're Nay, and she was like, you big for nothing. You, you big for nothing. You big for nothing. That's how I feel about followers. You just look good. You just look good, and it really makes no point with today's algorithms too. You just look good, and I'm okay with that due to the fact that it's gonna come anyway. But if I can find some genuine substancers, not a word, but we're gonna make it work, then I can do something with that. It's far easier to have a business model, Tracy, that says get 10,000 people that would pay you $99 a month. 10,000 people that would pay you $99 a year. You can do something with that. From there, you get all the fluff. But if you can just build a core base of 10,000, brands will find you. Y'all trying to get brands instead of trying to get a core. Get the core, the brands will come. We've lost our focus. Our focus, we want to be influencers, no core. So I'm using Threads very differently, very, 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 very differently, very differently. They're very different than what I've done in the past. I'm sure, it's not different as in unique, but what I've done in the past. I don't care about the followers. What I care about is paying attention to everybody who poured it over and said, okay, I'm a roll with Antonio. Bringing up Rhino Leg real quick because it's relevant to the conversation because etc. I was telling Deanna last night, so let me check on the status from that guy real quick. Rhino Leg is split in two. It's always been split in two. But this is what I'm doing now. This is top secret. Nobody can hear us. Nobody can hear us, but the hundreds of thousands of people who will listen later on podcasts. It's just between us. I took the Rhino Leg burn chat and I pulled it and made it its own app. So it's not gonna be a website, it's just gonna be Apple, Android, it's just an app. And in it, it has Bitcoin level encryption. That's just for the nerds. Just for the nerds. Law, whenever you're ready, you can jump in. Bitcoin level encryption. Cryptography is what it's called. Let me simplify that. It has secure sending of messages, secure receiving of messages, and they burn with a burn effect, not only from where you send them, you set a timer to it, then it burns from the database too. But not just that. I didn't say anything, but I told Deanna yesterday, it also has these two little features, but I'll say the one most important right now. It has a Twitter-like timeline on it too. But now in this case, I invented something new because that's what I like to do. So think about sending secure messages from business perspective. That's CRM. You can do your leads and still stuff like that. But it also has this networking side. And when you post, those posts are encrypted too. So when you post on your public timeline, not only are they encrypted, safe, secure, they also burn too, should you choose to do so. It's okay. Yeah, it hasn't been done before. It's incredible. So I'm doing that right now with some other features in tow, video, blah, blah, blah. It also has a bunch of short video, but I'm just not going to get into that right now. So I'm not really concerned with the followers. What I am concerned with is Instagram launched Threads and within hours hit 5 million. That got my attention. Come on, Lord.
What? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Here was
Mhm.
my question, because now you got my gears rolling since you had said this, right?
Good.
Now, I know the one thing that I'm consistent in is my rocket powers, or kind of like my daily update on
Yep.
Instagram. Like I do that daily. It
And
goes on Facebook.
vlogs are making their way back into popularity. They are.
Yeah, this is what I'm
Mhm.
starting to see as well. So those things, that thing excites me. I enjoy doing that. It's kind of giving my following an update on what it is that's going on within my life, as opposed to me actually, posting something on my feed. I don't do that as much as I would like to. Working on it. But that
Fair enough.
daily update, you do get that from me, or you'll see throughout my day or what have you. Now, my question is, since Threads has came out, I'm thinking of putting it on there. Should I still continue posting it on Instagram
Oh
and
yeah, sure.
Facebook?
Instagram,
Oh, okay,
Instagram ain't going nowhere because they
okay.
got it so seamlessly into. You know what, Claude, you're such a brilliant person. You forced me. I was like, I'm not gonna play this video, but yes, I am because Law just brought it up.
Hello,
Yeah.
Galaxy. I'm Chris Perillo, and this is my view in Fewer Than Two. Threads has now launched. This is Facebook's Twitter clone, and it's probably going to do better than Twitter has done over time because it's Facebook and billions of people use Facebook, and Instagram, where a lot of brands and influencers go. That is one of the reasons you need to be paying attention to Threads right now. I would have recorded this video a couple of hours earlier when Threads launched. Actually, I think I got in before Threads launched for some weird reason. It was a loose deadline. But I have been using Threads because it's new. It's a shiny object. Since I was able to first log in, because there are so many people jumping in, joining, having fun, trying to figure things out, waiting for something new to happen. And that's the thing that has pushed Facebook, Meta, whoever you want to call them, to release Threads when they did, because they have seen so many missteps from Elon Musk in relation to Twitter over the past few months, if not past few days, that they needed to get something out. So right now, it's basic, but it basically works, and it basically works well. I'm able to connect with people. People are able to connect with me. I'm up hundreds of followers almost instantaneously because all that information was ported over the social graph from Instagram. This is not small potatoes. This is going to be big because it's Facebook, it's Meta, it's Instagram. That's where people already are. To give them a new opportunity to interact with one another and to discover people well outside their own social circles is huge. That's what Twitter had done in the past. It's why I'm very bullish on Threads. So yes, I'm on Threads. If you followed me on Instagram, you see me in your follower list. I'm there. It's at Chris Perillo, where I am on pretty much every single platform.
All right, Law, you blessed us because you don't have to stop posting on Instagram. It's an Instagram app. It works seamlessly. In addition to that, it is a Twitter killer. Well, would it kill Twitter? Probably not, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant for the conversation. That's just a great headline so people can click on it. It's irrelevant for the conversation. What is relevant is don't stop posting on Instagram, but let's keep it real. Instagram, people like me post on stories or look at stories. I don't typically go down my Instagram feed no more. I look at stories. Twitter is fast. Instagram is fast. If something happens right now, 3 seconds ago, it's on Twitter. That's how fast Twitter is. Like genuinely, if it happens right now in the present, 3 seconds ago, it is on Twitter. So when Law posts, his timeline can get it quickly. And then it shares right to Instagram and it shares right to Threads as well. Plus, they're going to have roll out so many new features, blah, 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 that nobody knows yet but them. This is not about being popular anymore. It never should have been. This is about creating disciples. So today I'm going to teach you how to create disciples or super fans. I'm only saying disciples, trying not to religiousize the word. It's just how I learned seekers, believers, workers, disciples. That's all. And I'm just not going to change my dialogue because it's in my head that way. And it hurts too much to try to change it. Yes, ma'am.
Can you say that last line before you say you're going to teach us how to create disciples / super fans?
no idea what I said. If you remember what I was talking about,
Mm,
I won't quote it, but I will.
I lost it because I was.
That's okay. I still know what I'm talking about, so I got you. I was in the, oh, this is not about being popular. It is about obviously being paid. And if you desire to create super fans, here's your great opportunity. But before you can create super fans, you got to know where they are. Our goal genuinely should be about creating super fans. Is this okay? Like, is this like we should be Adonia is getting ready to retire. I was going to say transition, but in the Baptist world, that means something completely different. So we don't. It's yeah, we don't want to transition. No. She getting ready to retire. That was good. She getting ready to retire. Stay alive, Adonia.
You
Stay
got me
alive.
buried and stuff now. You got me buried. That's pretty cold blood. That's cold.
I know that is cold blood. That is cold blooded. No, stay above ground. She's just making her job her first client, but she's going to need super fans to have predictable revenue. Everybody else is volatile. Okay, Tracy just got that. Go ahead, Tracy. No, please. I came here to
Okay.
talk.
Right. So I don't feel like I'm at the level of making super fans. I feel like I'm still trying to get seekers to believers, right? So and trying to get some workers. So are you able to explain? I know you've already explained like what they are, like you explained that well. Because now we're talking about trying to make them super fans, but as you go through making them super fans, can you teach me how to get my believers into workers? Because I believe I have some seekers that are believers, but nobody is really, and I think it's about me being more massive, like you said, putting more out to get some workers. So can you tie all that together?
No, you're making this more succinct. Deanna, remind me to come back to creating a strong layout of how to create disciples. Let me define disciples first and then walk up this ladder. A disciple is someone who has the vision, owns the vision, carries the vision to more people better than you. Period. And then one more little sentence. And they duplicate you and your vision without your permission.
Say that again, please. I'll say it again.
A disciple is someone who knows the vision, carries the vision, owns the vision, and carries that vision out better than you, more than you, to more people than you without your permission. No disrespect to Jesus, but the disciples were far more important than Jesus ever could be. Jesus is important for your salvation. The disciples are the reason you know about it.
But the book said, you will do greater things than I do.
Come on, Jerome.
That's in the book.
That's in the book. That's in the book. The disciples, Tracy, have always been more important to evangelism than Jesus. If in your organization, you are doing the heavy lifting of recruiting and gaining new customers, you ain't got no disciples. Okay, this is why I save disciples not only for last logically, but it's why I just never try to put it in with workers and believers and seekers, because it ain't everybody. If you go look at any organization, it's 5 to 12% of that organization. See, the human consultants don't have to tell Antonio to tell people about them. I can't wait to do it. Or I look forward to doing it. Because I'm a disciple. I don't say coach with me. I say you need coaching. They don't have to tell me to say coaching. I do it for them. Without their permission. Without their coercion. I don't need a humor consultant director. I don't need a humor consultant coordinator. Okay, y'all. So at 8:55 a.m., we're going to say humor consultants. I'm going to say it anyway. You get what I'm saying, Tracy? A disciple is somebody who says, I like what Tracy thinks. I caught that. Hey, come over here, Tracy. See, you ain't went over there. No. Shut up. Get out your pride. Come listen to Tracy. Now, when we get over here, don't make me look stupid now. I want you to listen to everything she said. And when you get in the car, did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? Tell me all about what you learned. You know how your mama did it when you after Sunday school. What you learned in Sunday school? Huh? You put the little change in Sunday school? You remember what I'm talking about when they gave you the pennies? This back in the day we had 3 offerings, Jerome. You know what I'm talking about. You had the Sunday school offering, benevolent offering, and tithes and offering.
I still do that today to my daughter. When she come out of youth ministry, I'll be like, okay, what y'all learned today? Did you pay your tithes?
Okay, there you go. This is disciples. As soon as your conference is over, somebody went over and looked. You know, I like what she said about husbands. I need to treat you better. Those are disciples. These are people taking your message and making applications you did not. These are the people sharing your podcast. These are the people emailing your inspirational message to their work email. They're genuinely using you to bring inspiration to the job. And people now depend on them for reposting your stuff. They go, hold on, wait a minute. Vanessa, where her message went? Oh, I didn't know y'all was paying attention. Yeah, just because I don't respond, I mean, I don't pay attention. There's plenty of people listening to Tracy that you don't even know. But since we just beginning, that's the illusion, Adonia. The illusion is, the illusion is, I'm just beginning, so I don't have that. You get what I'm saying? This is just the beginning, so I don't have that. This is just the beginning, so I don't have that. No, trust me, somebody is already a super fan of yours. You just got to find them and keep creating them and keep finding them. It is that simple. There are, matter of fact, I can assure you, Tracy, when you said, the people who I wanted to show up didn't show up, but ATS did, I didn't tell them folk to show up to you. You showing up daily, you having a positive attitude, you having good questions that actually help them. You got this thing about you that people like. You created super fans here. You ain't even know until they showed up. Your subconscious was trained to go, oh, ain't nobody show up the way I wanted them to. You missed. You already have great ground. Can we just flip spiritually just for a second so I can get y'all to understand this here? It's my fault, Adonia. I've taught you how to plant seeds so much. I forgot to tell you how to be good soil. Jesus makes it clear. A man sowed some seeds. Some seeds went on rocky ground. Some seeds went on shallow ground, and other seeds went on good soil. Come on, Jerome. That's in the book, ain't it? It went on good soil. And we have to be good soil. And when we are good soil, to borrow from Phil, first-rate people like that and will then find your good soil and be good soil with you and bring their good soil to help you. So when I said followers, to borrow from Phil again, I'm talking about third-rate people. I don't care about them. They got their purpose, but I'm not concerned with them. I'm looking for good soil because I am good soil. Is that okay? Am I making this make some sense? I'm making it make some sense. Okay, good. A disciple drives their Toyota Corolla to their job and say, this is my job. I believe in this company. I appreciate what Adonia is doing. See, Adonia going to establish the vision, but the people who pull up at her office, that's their company now. Because they're depending on the vision of that company to pay their car note. Help me, somebody. That's a company. Those are the disciples. The people who say, Tracy, I declare that 100% of my income will now come through you. That's a disciple. That's a brave ask. Like you call it a job. What they're really saying is 100% of my livelihood will now depend upon your vision. That's what it really is. That's exactly what it really is. My child's insulin will depend on how well you lead this company. My health insurance will depend. The longevity of my health will depend on your vision, Tracy. That's why I pull up to work every day. Give you my all. I spend more time with you than I do with my kids. That's what 40 hours a week is. You understand it, huh? If you at work for 40 hours a week, you ain't with your kids for 40 hours a week. Because you got to sleep, don't you? Pay bills. You got to go to Walmart, restock some food. Somebody got to watch them kids. You're genuinely, when people pull up to the Adonia Dixon Enterprise, I don't know why I always say that's the name of her company. It's not the name of her company. It's not at all, but it just sounds good. When they pull up to Adonia and Associates, they're genuinely saying, my family comes second to spending time in your vision. That's a disciple.
Antonio?
Yes, sir.
When you talk about bringing good soil, I remember when I interviewed for my job at that engineering firm, and I came in and we talked. We had a very, very good discussion. He told me, I like you. He said, I don't have a place for you right now. He said, but yeah, your resume looks good. I've got a couple of business partners out there that he says, I can get you there until start opens, like that. I told him, I said, I appreciate all that. But if I were in their boardroom like I'm in yours, I don't think I would get the same vibe. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but when you got an opening, give me a call. Like that. He said, okay. He said, but before you go, we need to talk about salary. I said, no, we don't. He said, oh, no, we need to talk about salary. I said, no, I don't think so. He said, well, if we don't talk about that, then when I'm ready, if I send you the letter and it's not enough, then boom, I says, didn't you tell me that if I expect to move up in this company, I need to start at entry level? He said, yeah. I said, well, if I start out at entry level, then you should pay me at entry level. But if I prove to you that I'm not a fly-by-nighter, then you need to adequately compensate me. So what's there to talk about? And the look on his face was priceless. But I meant what I said. I'm not expecting you to pay me all that money that I deserve and that I'm entitled to, because I haven't proven to you what I'm about. But I already know I'm gonna prove to you what I'm about. So I'm gonna get what I'm entitled to. And that man, every step of the way, when I got my first book and I needed $4,000 for the extra books that I wanted to buy, I walked in his office and I said, I need a favor. Blah, 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 blah. This was 10 o'clock in the morning. He said, after lunch, go to HR. I went to HR, there was a check for $4,000. Less than 6 months, I gave him back the $4,000. His mouth fell open. He went, what? I say, Patrick, the books are doing well. But I told him, I'm not going to give you 2 weeks notice. I'm going to give you 6 months. I'm going to go out here and sell these books full time. Then he offered me the position of contractor. And I was making more money as a contractor, doing less hours, and still selling my books.
He's a super fan of yours.
Come on. Come on now. He's the reason I wrote the book Fixing the Broken Without Being Broken. Come on now. Yeah, I got to run him down, because he gonna get a little copy there, and he gonna pay for it too, like that. But I already told him. I said I wasn't gonna change your name, but I had to do that because the book gonna do well, and then I know you're gonna want your little cut. So listen to me. But he's one of those guys, and I loved working there. It was an atmosphere, and I knew that, and I told him, when I stop having fun, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm out of here. If I'm not enjoying myself, what am I doing here? But he literally enjoyed me because I brought so much to the table, more than what he was paying me, more than what he was compensating me, because that's who Jerome is. Hey, just want to get it.
No. He's a super fan of yours. He's a super fan of yours. And that leads to segue. You reminded me to answer the second part of Tracy's question. So how do we take seekers to believers to workers to disciples? There's a lot here. There's a lot of answers here, but they're all one answer. The answer is just segmented. Segmented. Is that okay? Okay. Let's start first with a story I heard in prison, and I was really impressed by an inmate named Darren in my dad's unit. And Deanna knows what I'm talking about. And they did faith-based storm. They just started a council. I think Deanna told you that yesterday. And in fact, when we went there, they didn't have a council yet. They had the meeting about it 2 months ago, but it was shot down and blah, blah, blah. But then like the next week, the council came up. And he said, we were talking about faith and church. Now, I wasn't saying nothing because I like listening. But then I stood as all I could stood. You understand? I couldn't take no more. It wasn't a negative conversation. I have this intellectual way about me to go, well, don't you have you considered this? I have this Socrates way about me. And all I heard was, they gonna do what the hell I say. That ain't what he said. That's just what I heard. Notice my sentence was, all I heard was. I didn't say that's what he said. That's what I heard. You got me, Trace. That's what I heard. So I was like, well, let me ask you a question. Should we make people disciples? That's what I asked. It was a simple question. Should we make people disciples? And he was like, well, no. And because he's a very smart guy. I was like, okay, well, let me ask you another question. What happens when you just throw people in an environment? He was like, well, it's like goldfish. And I didn't expect he was going to say something so profound. He was everything he was saying so profound, but this I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. He said, well, what happens when you take a goldfish out the store and you throw them into the tank? They die. He said they die because they literally shot to death. So then I couldn't help myself, Tracy. So what you're saying is, if you take some new faith person out the store where they was and just throw them into the dorm and say, you're going to be a disciple, you're going to shock them to death. And he said, okay. I said, that's brilliant. I like that story. I tell you, you tell that story for the rest of your life, because that's what we do in faith-based organizations. We say, Tracy, get it together. Come to Bible study. Whole time I done shocked her to death. She ain't ready for that. So then I asked him, so then how do we put him in the tank? And he said, well, you got to put him in the bag, and then you got to put him in the water. So I said, okay. I let him finish. And I was like, so we need to identify what's the bag. You should be writing this down, Tracy. What's the bag? What's the water? And what's the tank? Remember, I said it's one answer, but it's segmented. What's the bag? What's the water? And what's the tank? And what's the store? The store was their environment. Please write this down, for God's sake. He didn't go through all this, but my brain hears things differently. The store was their environment. And if you take them from their environment, Adonia, and just throw them in your environment, you shock and kill them. Everybody can't handle full Antonio. You understand? That's why I always stay full Antonio, but there are layers to full Antonio. What y'all see on this call is just a layer of me. It's not even, I'm actually far more quiet and calm. Yes, sir.
So that means that you don't give us your all.
No. All and layers are not the same thing, but very good question, because I'm glad you give me an opportunity to fix up something I said. No, this is good. No, this is perfect. This is perfect. No, this is perfect. Let's put this in dating, because people get this. Deanna, remind me to come back to the store as an environment. Let's just make sure, just write it down just like that, and I remember. I go with Adonia. I say, girl, you look good. Actually, that's what, when I first saw Adonia, I was like, hey, what you doing? You don't know me? Ask her. Hey, stop. She was walking out of her own business. Stop. What is you, Adonia, am I lying? Stop. What is you doing? What is you doing? Hey, you moving too fast. Come here. Let's have a conversation. So that's real me. Do you understand? She still gets real me. Don't get it twisted. She still gets real me.
I'm again rolling my eyes. I feel my body heating up. I'm rolling my eyes. Like, what? Who is this person? Like, really?
Don't you walk by me? What you doing? You walk by me? You know who I am? Girl, I'm gonna change your life. Don't you walk by me? That's my attitude. It is. It really is. That really is my attitude. You walk by me, I'm gonna change your life. Tracy, what's wrong with you? This is my attitude. I genuinely feel that way. It just is who I am. It just is what it is. It pours off of me. Sorry, I'm not changing. That's full me. In addition to that, when I go, hey, how you doing? That's also full me. It's just a layer of me, because you can't walk around, Prophet Jerry, tongue kissing everybody in the mouth. I said we're gonna put in relationship talk. Everybody understand it then. You understand? Everybody instead of Tracy like, we can't do that. You understand? You can't do that. You can't do that. Deanna, I'll mute your mic real quick. This is at what age? Watch this here, y'all. At what age did you first meet me?
15.
How old was I?
17.
Can you tell them the very first interaction, conversation you had with me?
You was in my personal space and I didn't know who you was.
Can you tell them what I did?
Okay. Imagine this hallway that's a T. So you have this the hallway goes straight out to the front door, and then it opens up like this. I'm in this spot and he's like in this corner. I'm walking out and he just walks up to me, gets like this close to me. We're like face to face. And he's like, hey, little mama, give me your name and your number. You mine now. And I'm like, bruh, first off, you in my personal space.
Those are my first words.
Secondly, I don't know who the hell you is.
I didn't care.
Deanna, I'm praying for you right this very moment, because those were not the words. That's how I felt. Like, who are you? We gonna hug the next time I see you. I'm just gonna hug you.
This,
Thank
so
you.
I
Thank
just
you. I'm gonna
want
fly
y'all to
out
know,
just for that hug.
please. I just want Tracy. I ain't changed. Not at 30 something, not at 17 something. Can you, if you could just give them that sentence one more time.
Hey, little mama, give me your name and your number. You mine now.
I was this close, Tracy.
In my personal space.
Hey,
Like I
run
could
me that.
feel his breath on my
Run me
face.
that. Run me that.
That's how close he was in
Run
my
me that.
face. And
Hey,
I'm
And
walking out.
he's a prophet too, isn't he?
Uncle Romy Rom, don't
you
make
better
it
talk,
bigger.
Jerome. You
Don't
better
make
talk,
it
Jerome.
bigger than it already
Hey,
is.
pay attention to the word of God that just came through. You understand? That was by
Don't make
the
his
word of
head
God.
bigger, Uncle Romy
The
Rom.
prophet Jerome spoke. Okay, the prophet Jerome spoke. My point is, Prophet Jerry, all that's me. That's the full me, Tracy. But then there's layers.
Tony, Antonio, that's the way you
doing?
treated me when you met me.
I did. I did.
Same way.
I did.
Hello.
I did.
And you didn't kiss me.
No. I walked up with Jerome. How can I change your life?
Wow.
I don't have another.
And Deanna, he
drive.
changed my life. He's a prophet. Leave him alone.
I don't have another drive about me.
I don't like saying it all the time, but
Just pray for him. That's all.
So it's perfectly okay to give layers so you don't shock people into death.
Okay.
Perfectly okay to give layers. You're still genuine you. It's just that let me not use Tracy. Let me use somebody else. Gracie. No, I can't use Gracie. But Gracie can call. Bracy. There we go. There you go. Bracy. Okay, there we go. Bracy can't treat Antonio like Bracy treat her husband.
because Bracy gonna be divorced
Immediately. You understand? Immediately. Because what Bracy do to daddy can't be what
and not do to nobody else.
All right, then you
Don't get
understand.
choked. Sorry.
Is this all right? Is this okay? Do we all right? So it's perfectly okay to give layers. Now we can get a relationship. Now people typically understand when relationship, because human experience is just one big relationship. That's all. This is one big relationship.
Wow.
So Tracy, back to the store. Your seekers are in a store. Your workers are in a store. Your disciples are in a store, and your believers are in a store. So that brings us to, so let's identify these elements real quick. We got the store, we got the bag, we got the tank, and we got the water. There's a secret fifth element that nobody is talking about, but we all know it's real. The store's water. That's what shocks the goldfish. The water in the store is at a different vibrational harmony than the water in the tank. That's a vibrational harmony. I don't care if you call it temperature. What is temperature? The vibrational harmony of the H2NO moving in that water. Temperature is just molecules moving. They move slow, it's freezing. They move fast, it's hot. They stop moving, that's Kelvin. 0 degrees Kelvin. Okay, Diana looked like she just remembered something or learned something.
Okay. That it's just like church. You can't just throw someone into your
That's what we're
You
doing.
vortex. I'm gonna use vortex.
Cool.
Thank you, Abraham Hicks. You can't throw anybody into your vortex because they're not vibrating at the same rotation of your vortex.
Make people throw up.
So you're going to kill them, like emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You're going to kill them if you just throw them into your vortex. But if you slowly integrate them, give them access to you, let them be around you, let them read about you, let them listen to you, then they'll slowly start the vibration of their vortex will slowly start to match the vibration of your vortex. And then now you both can be in each other's vortex.
That is absolutely a great analogy. Before I get Tracy, Deanna, take those 4 things and then put that secret thing in there. The store's water. That's important because that's what you was just describing. Yeah. Tracy, go ahead. And can y'all see how we're answering the question? We got to segment it though. We got to identify these elements because everybody who meet me don't like me. Hold on real quick, Tracy. Let me just say this. Let me just say this one thing real quick. I told my dad, he was like, the other day, he brought it up like 2 days ago. He was like, man, son, you taught me something. And I was like, Dad, my charisma is crazy. God gave it to me. And cut it on, cut it off. Even when I cut it off, it's still there. It's impossible to go away. And I use that to my advantage because with psychological operations, I was telling them what the Army taught me, because that's how I did psychological operations, was I don't need you to understand me. I just need to know what your programming is. And if I can understand your programming, then I can control you. He was also telling me he was having an issue. Well, they were having an issue with the faith-based dorms. So I was telling my dad, y'all problem is y'all out here making changes to folk who ain't trying to identify your faith. And then when they respond to their programming, you don't know what to do. So I tell them I use my programming. I use my charisma to program people. If you like it, I know how to deal with you. If you don't, I know how to deal with you. Either way, you fit in a box that I can deal with. See, this is not about getting people to like you. It's about understanding why they don't. Well, I just taught some. If you listen, I just taught you something. Everybody don't like TD Jakes. Everybody don't like Brad Pitt. And everybody don't like Adonia. No matter how hard she try, some folk are just programmed not to. And when you understand that, you know exactly how to deal with that person. If I know you don't like me, you are really good to me, Tracy. I go over here, you go over there, we good. It's the folk pretending to like me, stabbing me in the back. I ain't never been stabbed in the back by an enemy. That's why we have the word frenemies. Only frenemies do that. Enemies stay over there. I don't fool with Phil. I ain't gonna never forget human consultants. I don't even want to be on unfollow, block. If they block Phil, they can never bother Phil. Okay, we'll come back to that. Go ahead, Tracy.
No, as you were talking about the different aspects of the goldfish, I know you were going to probably get to the bag, but I was thinking about when they're in the bag, it's like the transition from the store to the tank. And if I picture a goldfish in a bag of water being transitioned from the store home to somebody's house to somebody's tank or whatever, that transition has to be rocky and shaky and bumpy. And so I'm just thinking about people in general when we're trying to take them from their environment to this new environment. It's not always going to be a smooth path or a smooth journey to get them to the tank.
That's right. And nor is it required to be smooth, except for one of those people. Seekers. Seekers are the only people who require it to be as smooth as possible. Only seekers, because they don't trust nobody. They hurt, They mad. There's something. It doesn't have to be negative. There's something about them saying, I don't trust none of y'all. Remember this. Seekers needed to be smooth. Go ahead, Jerome.
When you were speaking earlier, I was thinking about what you're talking about is biblical. It is spiritual. And it's exactly what Christ did. Because first John the Baptist came and he said, the Messiah's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you go back and look at the door, I mean, everybody was excited. Oh, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. When Jesus came on the scene, he didn't come with fanfare. He came into the city. Everyone's like, oh, he's the Messiah. And then boom, just like this. But when he reached out to the people, he didn't like, I'm this, I'm that. He says, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And
you know how direct that is, Jerome?
Come on now. And he met them where they were, not where he wanted them to be. A really good example of this was the woman caught in adultery. Because they had him cold, dead to right. We caught him.
According to the
Moses
law.
and the law says she should be stoned. What do you say? He on the ground. He ain't paying him no mind. Blah, 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 blah. And then he look up and go, okay. Which one of you that's without sin cast a stone at her? And they said from the oldest to the youngest, each one left. He went back on the stone. He ain't speaking to them or the woman, and then look up and go, woman, where are thine accusers?
Mm-hmm.
I have none, Lord. He said, neither do I. Go and sin no more.
Yep.
He didn't nullify the law. He didn't say the law was no good.
Mm-mm.
She was supposed to be stoned. But what he did, he met her where she was and those other people and did something that was, man,
yeah,
that was
never been done before. Changed the world. Changed the world.
And I'm gonna tell you, she was a disciple. She was a super fan. Come on, man. And some of them that saw what he did became super fans. So I just wanted to share that.
No, that's great feedback. Not just great feedback, it's factual feedback according to that, that particular line of faith. What's really gonna blow your mind is when you really find out that me and Jesus got the same characteristics and act the same way. That's what's really gonna blow your mind. Let's just walk through Jesus a little bit. Tracy, I know the one you with. That ain't your husband, huh? Can't fool me, little mama. What you thought this was? Can I keep going? Can I keep going? Jesus, who should we give our money to? Caesar or the church? I'll answer you if you answer me. You understand what I'm saying? Let me help you out. Let me ask you a question since you try to trap me. Oh man, when you out here healing sins, healing people on the Sabbath, or you want me to leave this man broke? I mean, do you not have a donkey? Have them all up in the donkey, and don't you get your little donkey up? Huh? We do this all day. If you really think about every single thing, especially when he was talking to the Pharisees, he was literally hauling these Pharisees out. He really was. Go on down to that city and you tell them the master got need for that donkey. I dare somebody say, if they say something, tell them it's on me. Run me that donkey. I got stuff to get. So y'all can humble it up all you want to. My man was liberal and direct and upside downing the world. There's a whole scholarly book called, I think it's by Richard Bachman, called Upside Down World, literally describing the actual form of Jesus. He flipped it upside down. That's why Jesus was accounting for his store water, the bag, the tank. He told that lady, same example with Jerome, go and sin no more. He didn't say, stop sinning, woman, and follow me. That's what we do today. You feel me? That's what we do today. Act like me. So let's break this down. Tracy, store water. That's my environment. How dare you correct my environment? First of all, now there's 4 different reactions to this. Let's start with the disciples. You're right. I do need to change my water. I've been working on me for a little bit. Tell me about your water over there. That's a disciple conversation. Is that okay? Workers. You know what? I do. I've been working on my water. I just ain't. I got it, but I'm excited, man. If you got some water over there, let your boy know. I'm. Tell me about it. So how can I align my water with your water, Antonio? Come on now. This is how we do it, Tracy. Don't act like we don't do it. Look, I got some things going on. You got some things going on. Maybe we can get in connection and partnership. Come on now. Don't act like we don't do this. When we can I see all your emails. Maybe we get some synergies. I see all of your emails. You use the same words. It's all on LinkedIn. Believe us. As soon as Tracy say something, I want to, Tracy, I'd have cussed you out. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I've been through some stuff, and I'm hearing what you're saying now. I'm hearing what you're saying. You feel me? I've been through some stuff. Last year? Oh, you wouldn't even had this conversation with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nah, I'd have cussed you out, smooth out, you and your mama. I used to be forget your mama, forget your dog. How many of y'all like that? When you break up with every single thing about them. You don't go down the block no more. Forget that city. You cut your hair. All of it. All of it. When you see them again, you go, I don't know why I was even attracted to you. You are ugly. I don't know what I was thinking. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, that's that worker behavior. That's that, that's that believer behavior. I was believing in you, but no, I don't believe in you no more, so you unattractive. That's what that is. So a believer goes, you know what, Donnie, I'd have cut you out real good. I would have. But God been working on me. So I can receive what you're saying. I went to a hypnotherapist and you worked out for me. I've been taking these morning classes with ATS and I've been changing my mind. Any of those kind of sayings, that's that. Seeker ain't trying to hear a damn thing, and damn one of y'all talking about. That's a move of God. Ain't none of y'all can do. Tracy, you can't fix it. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just
no.
quick.
I would just say that's something between them and their seeking journey. You can't do nothing but put your content in front of them and plant the seed. That's all you can do. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry.
So, learning language, all my life has been praying. So since nothing wrong with it, but since I've been around you, I'm learning more, meditating and more affirming, and this just always asking. So from that perspective, who would you say I am? A seeker, out of that 4?
Right now you're a worker. Only because you haven't crossed over to expectancy. See, prayer and meditation are the same thing, but I do need to say something, Tracy. I do need to say the religious organizations that push prayer, doesn't matter what they are, they teach you how to ask, and then they teach you how to believe in what you ask, and then they stop.
Right. That part.
You have to then come out that prayer and walk in a vibration it's already done. That's called receiving mode. This is when you expect your lights to get cut off and you say, I'm grateful. Even if they do, I ain't tripping. I know that bad things happen and they never bad. This is when you expect. So when you expect to walk past logic, see, a disciple is, write this down for me, Donna, smart enough to look in the past and go, you did it before. But dumb enough to look in the future and go, I don't see how it's going to get done, but I know it's going to get did.
Wow.
Tracy said, that's me. I'm looking out there in the front. I don't know how it's going to get done. I just know it's going to get done. That's dumb. But you got to be smart enough to look back and go, but he's did it before. Come on, you should have shouted right there. Like,
can I bring something?
You got to.
In this space, it started a little bit ago, but I couldn't get to you all. But in that space right there, when it talks about that believing and going forth and yet not transitioning to the receiving, because you actually don't know how. They don't teach you that. So I was reading Daniel.
Okay.
I know you know. When he had been praying the prayer for help that he talked to God for.
Mm-hmm.
However,
21 days.
Right. So during that time that an answer had already been given him.
That's right.
It was on its way.
That's right.
Which, by the way, I think is amazing.
This is a great story of the law of attraction, by the way. This is a great story of how the universe works.
So now, when he is waiting and he's fasting, this was the period of when the war broke out.
Right.
And
but it was a spiritual war.
It was a spiritual war.
Okay.
And it had to deal with blocking his answer regardless of what was going on.
That's right.
So how important was that he was not only a seeker, he was a disciple, he was a believer. You know what I mean?
What?
So all of those things happened. Now, when the angel finally got to him, he was so twisted in unbelief and belief at the same time, so he fell flat on his face.
This is a great point.
And the angel picked him up and put him on his knees and his hands, right?
Yep.
So now,
and then he said, "Hey, I've been on my way."
Right.
Keep going. Keep going.
So now when he, because I love it. Oh my God. So when he picked him up, when he finally gave him a chance to breathe, and he told him that, he picked him up by his collar and stood him up on his feet and said, "I don't want you bowing down. I want you facing me to receive this message."
Watch yourself, Sandra. Watch yourself.
Because it's for you. The
I
message
hear your power.
Is distinctly for you.
You about to change phone call. I hear you.
So now, it's so good. It's so good. And even though you were waiting intent,
I was already on my way. I had to fight through.
Come on.
Principalities, darkness.
Principalities
to get to you.
The darkness that was trying to block it. So
21 days ago.
That 21 days ago, when you started your fast. So now, once he got stood up, he still was unable to stand flat-footed. He was wobbly.
Because when you take losses for 21 days in a row.
Come on.
Oh, it's hard to come out that vibration of loss, ain't it?
Woo! Jesus had me. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm right here. I just had to bring it.
No, that's good. That is a great identification of the law of attraction if I've ever heard one. Because Paul then comes around, Tracy, and echoes that in Ephesians. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against darkness, against rulers, darkness of age, against the host of wickedness. This ain't no fight against Jerome. This is a fight against the spirit of vibration Jerome is in.
Right there. Can I say this?
Come on.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Jerome, we own it today.
So now, this is one of the reasons why Sandra Lucky, I'm just talking about me. This is why I'm grateful for having to push the be before the people.
Right.
I'm not chasing them. I'm simply giving them some tools. And one of those tools is to change your way of thinking.
See,
right where you are.
mm-hmm.
Because when you change the way you think, your body begins to follow that way of thinking.
Yeah.
But it takes time for the body to follow it. And I only know about that because, like I said, when God saved me and he told me, what I have for you don't have nothing to do with hurt, it changed everything. All bets was off. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
what I'm doing, that I'm not supposed to be being hurt and you hurting me.
Yeah.
So that goes over the rule of what he said. I put you two and two together. But I'm gonna leave right there. I gotta run. Bye.
Got you. Look, let's add on to that. Let's bring it back to seekers. Tracy, this is why you cannot change a seeker. You must plant seeds and present yourself faultless before the only wise God. I couldn't help myself, Jerome. You got to present yourself faultless. You cannot change a seeker. Why? How many of you know that before you get to greatness, this universe will put you in the gymnasium of struggle? This is where you get your
That's
muscles.
facts. That's facts.
Yeah, the made Melissa. you get to that gymnasium of struggle. And then this ain't no 2-day workout, Tracy. Nah. You might be here for 20 years. I've seen it done. I've seen it done. I've seen life humble people for decades before they had enough muscles to receive their blessings. I've seen it. I've seen it. Who else has seen it? Am I the only one that's seen somebody struggle?
Get out of my driveway.
Thank you,
Get
Jerome.
out of my driveway.
Thank you, Jerome. Sometimes you got everything going for you, and then you fool around and act like Melissa and Antonio and pray for more. Soon as Tracy prayed for more, Tracy activated a new valley. The mountain over there is bigger, but you got to come down from what you got. Go back to the gymnasium of struggle to make it up that mountain. Them valleys will kill you, won't they? But our job is not to die in our cutback seasons. That's our job. That's our job. And I need you to get, Tracy. Seekers are in the gymnasium of struggling when they see you. They can't hear nothing but they pain. That pain caused them to say, I need something else. I can't do this no more. You ever said that before? And then I got somebody that said, this, it can't keep going like this. It's got to be something better out here. This used to be my favorite, Tracy. Something got to change. And then you start looking around at folk and going, I don't know why the hell I ended up with y'all. I didn't even know y'all was holding me back. I've been with y'all 12 years. Finally woke up. And then you start realizing, damn, I used to act like y'all. That's why I'm really mad. I'm really mad. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm mad that I was so blind acting like y'all. I've been here 12 years. Come on. Can I get a witness? Is there somebody? Okay, thank you so much. I've been acting like you this whole time. And then you really get smart. I should have never dated ever. Should have dated, should have had no kids. I ain't know nothing until yesterday. You 45 years old. I ain't know nothing till yesterday. That's where your seekers are. And how are you going to tell a person struggling that they struggling? Adonia tell you all the time. Adonia is really good with this. She did it yesterday, and she did it last month. She did it so well, it gave me chills. I just didn't say nothing because the conversation went other way. But she said, "But yeah, I got my course, but I don't want to tell people they suck." She was talking about the women that she. You remember that, Adonia? She was saying, I'm looking for the women that's going through. They don't really believe, but I don't want to tell them they don't believe. So she's looking for the right words because whether Adonia can communicate it or not, her soul recognizes the women she want to get ain't trying to hear from her. So she go in there lightly.
Exactly. They ain't trying to hear from me because I wasn't trying to hear from anybody. I wasn't trying to hear from you. So no, I know they ain't trying to hear from me.
That is so true.
That's so true. So true. My dad said something to me, y'all, Indiana, like 5 days ago, about a week ago, that genuinely changed my entire worldview. He was saying, man, when I was on drugs and I genuinely asked for help and somebody was too busy for me, by the time they came back to me a few minutes later or a few hours later, I was past the point of help. That moment of vulnerability, I stoned up on it. He said, this is why I try to always be available. Even when I'm studying, somebody come to me, I try to always help them right then and there because I remember being past the point of help. And when I tried to get help, people delayed on me. So I hardened up. And if that ain't relatable, I don't know what else is. We've all done it. There's a time of vulnerability to which you really want help. And when you don't get it, you go, see, that's why I don't ask. This is why I roll with myself. This let me take me another hit. And here's the deal. You may not be on drugs, but your thyroid gland says different. Because that depression you like being in, that's a drug. It creates that hormone, that anger, that withdrawing. Your thyroid is saying, oh, you like this cocaine, don't you? Well, here's cocaine, but we're going to call it apathy. Same chemical hormone, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's why you go, oh, I don't care about nobody. I do this all by myself. That's a drug. So while your drug may not be as victimizing in public as crack cocaine, that woe is me, that's a hell of a drug. And the seekers, Tracy, they are crack cocaine addicted. And you don't know where the vulnerability of a seeker is. And all you can do is plant seeds until they trust that they can be vulnerable with you. And there is no formula for this. There's no formula. If you're looking for a formula, you got to go back to Jerome's Savior. It's the only formula out there. You got to go back to Jerome's Savior, only formula out there. What's that formula? Love thy neighbor as I have loved you. It ain't another formula. You know why? Because when Adonia was doing bad all them decades ago, I don't mean to speak for her, but we all been there. How many of you know you could be surrounded by people who love you and be all by yourself? That's seeker mentality. And it's a real reality. You could be in a whole marriage and feel like you single, but committed to this toxic behavior. Faithful to toxicity. Y'all ain't got to keep it real, but I'm just trying to tell you that your seekers, Tracy, they're there. So how do you get a seeker to become a believer? Love. It's the only way. Antonio is a fool. Antonio walked up on Deanna and went, run me that. And I can assure you, I meant every word. And here's the crazy part. Ran up on the dog. Like, stop, what you doing? You see me? Watch out. What you doing? And even in all that craziness, I still have more love than most people can ever assume can come from me. Think about that. Think about that you can be absolutely nutbag crazy and still have the love of Christ. Ain't no doubt about it, I'm crazy. But you can't do what I do and not be crazy. You cannot be out front taking spears headed to the cross and not be insane. Can you imagine an empath going to the cross? This never would have made it. All you empathetic folk, you never would have made it to the cross. You'd have got mad. I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even started the journey before I was even put in prison. I wouldn't have been where Pontius Pilate could even have a conversation with me. Okay.
Which now leads me to believers, seekers, and disciples, all in one with this one statement. Even Jesus, Jerome, struggled finishing. Can you see him, Tracy? Garden of Gethsemane. Father, help. You sure? I can't do it. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't. You're asking of too much. Now, come on.
That's because he was an empath.
No doubt. No, he definitely had empathy for sure. You're asking of too much. I can't do it. Yeah, I can hear the deep breath in the text. It ain't in there, but I can hear it. Nevertheless, now my will.
What's so funny to me is that he went and woke them up how many times? Look, can't y'all just stay and pray with me? I need help because he's not listening.
Can't you stay? Because he understood I'm gonna be left alone. Did my whole life to die by myself. Your struggle is a common thread between seekers, believers, workers, and doers. But the struggle to finish, that's a believer, worker, and disciple problem. And if any of you think you are above finishing and struggling to finish, oh, universe about to smack you in the face, because we come here to master the struggle of finishing. We all feel like our time should have been here. Yeah. If I'm the leader, it means whatever you thinking, I'm thinking 1,000 times worse. Like attracts like. Tracy, this is just facts. I say it every time. The biggest sinner in this place is me. How can I relate? I just got my, what you call sins, under voluntary check. Those are two different things. It is not about the absence of not struggling. It is about being in that struggle and being comfortable with being happy in it. One more time for Jerome. Paul said, Grace, put me on speaker so your daddy can hear me. Paul said, I know y'all been trying to give to me. As a matter of fact, y'all the only folk been trying to give to me since I've been needing. Even in Thessalonica, y'all was trying to give to me. Man, I'm sure grateful. But I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't gonna work this time. I'm too far away for you to give and too in the bad condition. It ain't because it ain't gonna work because you don't want to. Because I hear y'all collecting all your last to give to me. But don't worry about it, Tracy. I've learned to be abased and abound, is what King James says in Jerome Bible. I've learned how to be broke, and I learned how to ball out. I'll be okay. Whatever state that I'm in, come on. Whatever state
You got some witnesses in this car.
And with the be content.
I will be content. Hello, mom and daddy, right? I will be content. This is not about resisting struggle. It's let me I'm gonna keep messing with Jerome. Jerome's book says it's good that I was afflicted.
That the power of God may rest upon.
This is about understanding that
therefore will I glory in my infirmity.
I know you can fit it. I ain't mad at you, Jerome. This is not about winning. It is about segmenting any organization into seekers, believers, workers, and disciples. Everybody is not a Tracy. But what we do, Tracy, is we get to become Tracy and forget we was little knucklehead Tracy. So what do? We get up there and we say, y'all need to quit drinking. Now we drank every day. Well, it was just one glass. It was social drinking. By yourself, Karen? That's not social drinking. If you are not ready, so let's talk about the storage water, to take the goldfish and throw it from the store water to the tank water, you're going to kill it. And that's what we are doing to members of the body every day. Only me and my pastor, the only two people that I think, I don't think he says this way, but with the only two people that I could think of that agree with this, we've ruined many a preacher, putting them in the pulpit. Just because you got a call don't mean you got to preach. You may be a missionary.
That's deep right there, sir. That's deep right there.
You may be in halfway houses. You may be a church planter. You may be a sermon writer, but that don't mean that you got to be the head. See, Adonia will mess up her business. I know a lot about Adonia. I pay attention, plus I coached her for a year. Adonia would mess up her business if she tried to be the head of her company. Adonia does not like being the head and is not built for the head. You know what Adonia is built for? Stepping back in bishop role. Okay, look here. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you do this. Y'all come to me in an hour and tell me what y'all got. Come on, Adonia, help me out. You do it.
I don't think I want to say a whole lot of nothing right now. I have so many things going through my head. Yeah, I cannot contribute at this moment. That's true.
Understand.
I mean, there's a lot of truth in there, but wow.
A lot of truth.
Yeah.
A lot of truth.
Yeah.
A lot of truth. Some of y'all got the vision, but you don't want to run your company. That's called a gift. But our problem, Tracy, is we only respect singing, teaching, and praying as a gift. Some of y'all got the gift of organization. Some of you got the gift of giving. Some of you have the gift of organization, gift of giving, gift of vision, gift of connection. How many of you, your family only get along when you in the room? Who know what I'm talking about? It ain't many of us, but it's always a few. As soon as you in the room, they stop arguing. As soon as you leave, they at each other's throats again.
That was just a conversation. We had something happen in the family. But that was definitely a conversation. Well, if grandmommy was here, none of this would be happening. If they knew grandmommy, that wouldn't be happening, because they wouldn't be talking like that. They wouldn't be acting like that, because that's not gonna happen. The type of spirit she carries. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's real though.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real. As soon as grandmother died, all hell break loose, huh? Trace, I've been waiting to whoop you. I've been waiting to put you in line. Your grandmother can't save you no more. That's what your uncles will tell you, right? This is real. Tracy, the store water is their vibrational harmony, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't make me stop smoking weed. You can't make me stop drinking. You can't make me stop whoremongering. All you can do is respect the fact I like this. Your job is to love me past what I like. When you do that, I'll change my water. Help me, somebody.
And that's one of the things they can't understand is how I can still love them regardless of what they're doing. I'm not your judge. That's not what I do.
It's not.
You make your decision. God is going to work on you for whatever. It don't matter. My job is to love you and give you the information that I have. That's all.
Let me help y'all out, man. Let me help y'all out. I put this on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, I think similar one, it says it's got this Dying Church series on them. And I recognized years ago that my church was dying. Can I help? Not see, most preachers won't do that.
It shocked us when he said it to us. He was
Oh,
like,
they got mad at me. They was crying. No, you can't. Because I told them, can I help you now, Tracy? Because I'm trying to tell you how to do the seekers, believers, worships, and workers and disciples. And I told them, I'm not the one to lead this church no more.
He did say that. Let me tell y'all something. He said that.
They had a revolt.
We sure did, because he chose someone to lead a church, and we was all sitting here like, I don't know if I'm stay here.
See, what was happening in my spirit and in my mind, Tracy, was I was understanding that God was building a new church in me. One that embraced Muslims, embraced witches, embraced atheists, embraced not just the unchurched as I thought it would be, but the entire body of humanity. So the church that I built, according to how church should be built in my culture, God said, this is dying. That's not my calling for you. You're not hearing me. That's all right. That's all right. You ain't got to hear me. I'm going to keep my weight on it anyway. Yes, sir. Grace, keep me on speaker. Everybody, every last one of y'all put me on speaker. Somebody need to hear this and go out and do better. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry.
You are so correct, because I look at in the past 10, probably 20 years, you see small churches.
Mm-hmm.
That's why those drug addicts, those prostitutes, they're not coming to church, because you judging them instead of loving them.
Right. And that's the worst thing to do to a seeker.
That's with them lesbians, them transgenders, all them.
It's all nothing.
You don't love them.
What's the difference between me being lesbian and me sleeping with sister so-and-so? What's the difference? We don't want to have this conversation, huh, Jerome? What's the difference? Ain't no difference.
No difference.
The only difference is I can see your lesbianism. You can't see the bed I snuck up in.
And Antonio, and that thing is, people put sins into a hierarchy and be like, oh, well, I never slept around, so I'm good. But you have lied and you have stolen from other people, though. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, but no, this sin is less than this one. In what world?
See, grace is harder than truth.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all use grace as a sloppy anointing from God. Oh, grace is real sloppy when y'all use it. Oh, God know my heart, sloppy, he gonna save me. As soon as Tracy mess up, nope, condemnation. Grace is not sloppy, and grace is harder than truth. Let me tell you why grace is harder than truth. Because when you lead with truth, everybody in line, but ain't nobody growing. I'll say it again. When you lead with truth, everybody in line doing what you say, but ain't nobody growing. Neither is that organization. There's a time to lead with justice and truth. If the building's on fire, ain't no democracy. Get up, let's go. But when you lead with grace, Tracy, the way it is intended, according to Jerome's New Testament, people got opinions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. People got feedback. People got problems with what you said, Antonio. But when you lead with grace, titles are no longer reasons to hurt people. When you lead with grace, you can pay somebody light bill 3 times in a row without having to justify it.
Bishop.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I love you.
Thank you so much.
That's so strong, because you held your ground when you accepted everyone. Those that came couldn't accept and they left. And I bet you their business is not succeeding. I bet you they're not successful as they were, because you, and I'm not trying to blow your head up, not like that. You know me by now.
I got you.
But because of who you are and what you stand for, that's why we're growing. Those that stayed, I remember in 2020, it was more on this call than what's on this card now. You couldn't even hardly get on the call because there was so many people. And I just started in October, September, October of 2020. But to see growth in me, take a bow, sir. Take a bow, because I couldn't see. Excuse me.
Don't excuse your gift. You getting your gift. You ain't bothering me.
I didn't see no growth. And when I got to put it back on my refrigerator, I took it off. When you said, God
never hurt me.
God never hurt me. I'm fixed.
Right.
I got to put that on this refrigerator because I just moved. But when you said that to a person that's not here now, I ran with, I ran with that. Even though y'all know my story, had ran it over by car, all these things. But there was for a reason.
That's right.
And then some of them was because of my stupidity. I thought I could get more money.
But ain't it good that God can use your stupidity?
Watch it, sir. I'm on move. Watch it, sir.
Look, let's go back to my church failure. It never failed. 98% of my church didn't have jobs no more. They did well. I was failing because the conditioning of Galveston, Texas, and the powerful anointing of my pastor outweighed my own calling. You didn't hear it. I'm gonna say it again. See, it was the culture, the environment, the store water, Gracie, the store water, Tracy. That was Galveston. And then my pastor is just a giant amongst men. You understand? So now I got store water, and I'm looking, going, I don't want nothing you got. Oh, I love everything he got. But deep down, I knew I don't want none of that stuff. When me and my pastor first met, he asked me, he said, "What's your gifts?" And he told me later, I was shocked he didn't say preaching and teaching, because I'm pretty good. He said, all preachers say preaching and teaching. I told him business and marketing. Hey, what you want to do for me? Business and marketing. My call has nothing to do with being secluded inside walls. I'm actually quite uncomfortable with church people. I am. I didn't grow up. I grew up in a trash can. I'm very comfortable with winos and alcoholics and drug dealers and drug addicts. No. See, you got to understand the very thing I'm trying to change my life. Why I changed my life, never go back to, is the very thing God has used to make me me. This disciple talk. Tracy, you can't change the water that I am in. And every time you try, I'm only going to sit in my water more. You can't tell a Trump supporter Trump ain't good. No different you can tell a Barack Obama supporter Obama ain't good. If you tell me what I ain't, I'm going to show you what I am. You're only making me resist your teaching. So if I am a seeker, your only job is to look at me and make me feel special about the filth that I'm in. Because when you do that, I start to get convicted. That's why we got this word. I start to look at the manure all over me and I start feeling embarrassed. I start avoiding you because I shouldn't be around you this way, not you. Not you. I can't do you like that. Come on, Deanna.
Did you just say our only job with a seeker is to make them feel good about the situation they're
in their filth?
Oh,
Tell me what Jesus didn't do it.
Feel good about
Tell me.
being
See, Jesus
sincere.
had two different conversations. He had conversations with Pharisees, but when it came to people, Pharisees are preachers. But when it came to people, Jesus said, it's all right, you had 5 husbands. I ain't even tripping. Just know I know. Roll with me, though. This lady was drinking water.
Will thou be made whole?
Will thou be made whole? Come on, Tracy. No, you come on, you get some feedback up in that. I know it's on you. I know it's on you. She said, I would go. Listen, I had a problem with women not being able to preach. I have a problem, and I don't mean a problem with the people propagating that. It's just the problem that, let me identify my problem very accurately so y'all don't stone me to death. I just have a problem how bipolar we make God. I have a problem with that. God hates gays except for your gay, ain't it? Because you love her. No, I told my dad this yesterday. Day before yesterday, he was shocked. He was like, I've never seen it that way. I say, Dad, your generation hate gays so much, and you say it in the church, but y'all love the gay organist and the gay choir director and never say nothing. I say the hypocrisy that we know, like we hire. We won't let a gay person be up front. And I'm not arguing for gays, just listen to the hypocrisy, except for when they bringing in members to the church, because they're bringing in tithes. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that wishy-washiness of what we call Christianity. I have a phrase for it. It's called American Christianity, which is not Christianity. That's a denomination. American Christianity is a denomination. That's not the big C of the church. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's to go to evening church just to have fun and swap money, but never invite somebody outside the church. I have a problem with that. I've been very vocal about this for years. I have a problem with that. So I had a problem with that as a seeker, as a worker, as a believer, and as a disciple. So I understood that my church was dying, Tracy, because I was trying to be a leader I wasn't called to be. Grace once told me, my mama say, he shoot from both hips. You damn right I shoot from both hips. That's that old folk talk. That means you're going to get this truth. You hear me, Grace? You're going to get this truth. But you're going to get it in a non-offensive way in a way in which God don't have all these rules, Tracy. So why you putting rules on your seekers? Get in my organization. Do this. Why? Man, get this for free. Roll with this content. If you decide that I am worthy of your attention, here's how you can connect with me. This is why in my videos, and they always say I'm supposed to do this, and I refuse. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I refuse. Because I'm not asking, I'm not begging, I'm not trying to coerce you for your followership. I'm trying to earn it. And if I need to remind you to follow me, you shouldn't be following me. How about that? How about that? Tracy, the environment of the store, you can't change that about me. So if you take my vibrational water, if you take my filth and tell me to change, I'm not going to change. First off, there is nobody in filth that don't know they need to change. We all know we need to change. But can I tell you why we don't? Because this filth is more faithful and loving to me than my mama.
Wow, you taught me something.
Uh-oh.
You taught me something.
And you stepped on my toe, but it's good.
I stepped on your toe. I never liked that toe anyway.
We say all the time, Crazy Queer News, continue to like, share, and comment. And I told her, I said, okay, when we get back after this child leave, we get back to our our normal broadcast system. We're in emergency right now.
Emergency broadcast system.
Help us, Antonio.
No. I don't like nobody kids but mine. That's it. I don't like nobody kids but mine.
Starting next Tuesday, we will not be saying that no more. Okay.
No doubt. As long as it's in your feeling and vibrate. I don't
but I mean, you made sense because if they're gonna like, you know what, and you know what, you said it. They're gonna like if they like, they're gonna comment if they comment, and they're gonna come when they come. And that's something, wow.
Yeah.
That's deep because I hear a lot of people say that, Bishop.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment. But wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Most people think I disappeared from the church. It's couldn't be further from the truth. I disappeared from religion. Those are two different things. And I'm not even trying to draw a distinction, but I have a value about my own faith now. And that value is simple. Are we trying to help people? If the answer is yes, good. Are we willing to do whatever it takes to help people? And most people say yes. And here's where I draw the line, Tracy. Are we sitting with sinners, drinking with drunkards, and gaying with gays? I don't actually mean gaying with gays, but you get the point. Because in order to be a bridge, you have to have footings on both sides of the ravine. I'm not allowed to look at a seeker and not get in your dirt. If you drowning and I'm preaching at you dry, you shouldn't even be following me.
Bishop, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're saying so much today that really making me come out of my wow. I was watching the commercial yesterday, and there's a GLAAD Media Academy. It's with genders of different with the LBQT thing, right? And my niece was watching it with me, and because of the training that I had when she was younger, she's up with that training now. That's not God. And I'm like, wow, I did not know that I was training her and my nieces and nephews and my other son of training them that way because I was trained that way. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to really down.
Let me say this. So, and you can keep going. Let me just say this so it can change somebody. Most people who don't like me or my ministry, respectfully, they love the Bible. Everybody who loves me and what I do in my ministry loves Jesus. Did you see what I just did? See, when it's time to correct somebody, which you should never do in the first place, if you're not running to the sayings of Jesus and the behavior of Jesus, but you're running to Paul or something, some scripture that you're taking out of context. And I'm not saying that the Bible is infallible. It's all perfect. And I have no problem with this, Jerome. What I'm saying is the special revelation that should be our behavior. And the people who behave like Jesus or try to actually, they love me. If you call that kingdom minded, Jerome, is what you call that. If you genuinely wake up every morning trying to be more like Jesus, you see no problem with anything I do. But if you use religion, blank, 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 I don't want to put nothing. I don't want to say anything negative. You don't like me. You think I'm weird. You're indifferent. To look at Tracy and see God, it's very difficult to do, yet your Bible demands it. Well, there ain't nobody God but Jesus. Lies. That's not in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. Ain't nobody perfect but Jesus. Be ye perfect. Is that? We say a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, we say a lot of crazy stuff that ain't in the Bible. We do. Nobody can ever be great as Jesus. You would be greater. You would do greater things than me. Well, no, we can't be. We supposed to be. We're not supposed to be in this world. He said we're supposed to be in the world, but not of it. Okay, but how can you go to Samaria, Judea, and the othermost parts? You wanna email that? Because until you go to 1314 South Oak Post Drive, I have no idea whose street this is. I'm just making it up. I can't hear you. All right, let's speed this up. Tracy, that's the store environment. It was the most important. The rest of them are easy. So if you put the store environment, since you know that, now what you got to do is you got to build a bag to put me in. And here's the deal. Adonia ain't getting in everybody's bag. How about that? You see what I just did? See, if you're going to put the goldfish in a bag, see, y'all just, I don't know why we do this. We skip over the environment. Like we say things like, Black folk, we act like crab in the buckets, forgetting the fact that the bucket is not the natural habitat of a crab. Somebody put those crabs in that bucket. But we are so brainwashed that we think if you go into a bucket, there's some crabs. Mold, but not crabs. So think about this for a moment. If the answer is put the goldfish inside of the tank in a bag, but you got no focus on your bag, your ministry is ineffective. Tracy, understand that a believer ain't getting in everybody's bag. Especially if you in tune with what Grace called the Holy Spirit. Can I help you? Y'all ever walked in a place and instantly felt, I don't belong here. You call that discernment, don't you? I don't know what's going. We got to leave right now. Anybody? Can y'all unmute your mic and just help the audience out? They got their hands up. I don't belong here. You'd be like, Tracy, it's my friend. Okay. Why are you even talking, Tracy? Oh, no reason. Tracy, the whole time, Tracy felt something about that person. Couldn't put a finger on it, but the Holy Spirit told her, be quiet. Don't reveal nothing. They don't mean you no good. I got you, Deanna. I know a lady that prayed over the
Period.
I know a lady who prayed over the threshold of her door. Like she literally prayed over it. And then she said, God, don't let nobody in here that mean me harm. She stopped getting visitors overnight. People go in her house to get uncomfortable. And they make excuses for leaving. They make excuses for leaving. Y'all hear me? They get in their house and go, you know what, girl, I got something to do. Or they get a text message real quick. I got to get out of here real quick. That's that hedge of protection. That's that prayer protecting that threshold. Go ahead, Tracy.
Every year I do that to my class. No, I do it to my classroom door, and I pray. Or anoint my door of my classroom, and I pray, hey, any spirits that are not, these kids. And I had a student one time literally stop outside the door and look and be like, wait a minute, I can't, because he was like, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, and when I talked to him outside, he had a spirit attached to him that was like, we can't go up in that classroom like this. So I do that every year.
And it blesses you, don't it? No, that's right. Go ahead, Deanna. We almost done.
You said something. You said, is it the believers that will not automatically get in your bag, or the
Why would I get in your bag? If I'm believing, I'm at a vibration now. I don't know what the truth is, but I know it when I feel it. This is why you can't go to everybody's church. This why your mama, you didn't listen though with your knucklehead self, told you, I don't like that boy you hanging with. Come on. Well, we ain't listen because old folk don't know nothing is what we think. Right? Ain't right, Jerome? Old folk don't, that she don't know.
See, Antonio, you know what? My mom, God rest her soul, my mother said to me, there was a group of girls in college and they was sitting at a table. I never talked to them, but they was always looking at me. And my mom one time came up and she peeked them and she was like, and she said, Renee, you know those girls? And I was like, Mom, was like, they be looking at me, but they don't really be talking. They don't be talking to me. And I just kind of be like, whatever.
Yeah.
She said, Renee, she said, girls like that, they're not going to be in college long. They think that college is nothing but a party. And you know what? One by one, each and every one of them left. Either they got pregnant and left, or all of them. It was a group of 4 girls. All of them left. When I graduated, I looked up, wasn't none of them around. And I was like, was speaking straight up facts. I mean, that discernment be on point.
No doubt, no doubt. No. Let me tell you something. If old black folk ain't got nothing else, they got discernment. You can't survive in America without discernment as an old black person. You hear me? It's impossible. Look, Tracy looking around. Is that a spirit going on? You get out of here, right? Look, I'm wrapping this up. Hear me.
I was looking at her.
She got that prophetic gift. You hear me? She got that prophetic gift, and she owns something, and she knows spirits trying to attach themselves to her. Not today. You understand? Not today. This is why you can't get with everybody. For soul ties is real. But see, we have a problem with our mindsets. See, right now my hair is long. It's what we call locks, locked up. You know how many churches won't let me preach in their church because I have locks? Do you understand that we have a serious brainwashing problem when natural black hair don't belong in a black leadership role? That's crazy. That somebody convinced us that I am unprofessional to lead souls because of my hair, when you got a whole Old Testament and a whole strong people that don't cut their hair. There's a spiritual reason why Africans did not cut their hair. There's a spiritual reason why, Tracy, your Bible, specifically in Corinthians, says that a woman is anointed with a hair covering or not, as long as her hair's covering her head. Because the power and spirituality and soul of a person is in their hair. I'm not talking about hairstyles. Shout out to NDRE. I'm not talking about you are your hair. Shout out to NDRE. We're talking about that if you never cut your hair, ever, it will grow 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. But if you cut your hair continuously, it will grow thousands of feet. The body knows what the body knows. And there is power in all of your being. And if you don't believe me, last time I checked, Tracy, your Bible says God knows every count of your hair. Now, if you believe the word is Holy Spirit breathed, then why would God put something so useless in it? Anyway, I'm not going to bother you about that. The bag that you put the goldfish in should not be your church. If you put in the goldfish in the water that is your church, that is your organization, why would you have the bag match the water? So what's the bag, Tracy? Okay, she's getting it. What's the bag? They're old, filthy, negative, positive, character flawed habits. You have to allow me, my old ways, to be a seal of protection around me while you put me in your new ways. Why? Because this universe ain't gonna let old wine be in new skins. So through simple osmosis, the water in the environment is gonna seep through the little thin layer of my negative habits. Can I push that further? Tax collector Matthew changed because he was in proximity of Jesus. Can I keep going, Jerome? Peter changed with his hustling self because he was in proximity of Jesus. Simeon, they all changed. Not because Jesus said, don't do this no more, y'all. They changed because they were close to the change in water. I'm just making it make sense. Whether you
If I
believe
just touch the hem of his garment.
This is why many of my best friends is witches and atheists. You know why? Because you don't stop being a soul. Because what you believe. I'm not telling you run out here and go tell your pastor this. I'm not telling you believe anything I'm saying. By all means, please critically think. But I desired, Tracy, a church in which you can interrupt me at any time and ask questions. Because when you do that, I can't hide nothing. I don't give a damn what you think about that. I know if you sit in a place and you can't ask questions, that's not faith, that's control. I know that much. I know you ain't doing it in your, like literally, we go to a religious organization, say, I'm going to sit here, be quiet, don't ask no questions. But you'll never get in your marriage and do that. Come on now. You won't treat your child like that. But you treat the most important thing about your soul like that. That's crazy to me. See, my problem with religion has always been the same problem since the day I was born. I think too much. Faith, and I'm ending now. Faith is very hard for a thinker. But if you can get that thinker to have faith, oh, your church gonna change. Your organization gonna change. Because you can't beat a Tracy in an organization. It's impossible. But the whole idea of orders come from the top down is flawed and it's unbiblical. Orders from God ain't even orders. They're blessings. And they come from everywhere and everybody. Recap. Your environment, Tracy, as a seeker, all that filth, don't see it as filth. See it as the thing protecting me. My filth is protecting me, even if it's protecting me from changing like I need to. But you don't understand, Tracy. I need that protection. Because without it, I don't know who I am no more. And I'm barely standing up. I need this weed. I don't smoke. I'm just trying to get in your driveway. I need this depression. I need this anger. I need these 3 women. I need these 4 men. I need to lie. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I need it. And how dare you look beyond my faults and then change them? I need these things. All you got to do, Tracy, is teach me in your faith that I need Jesus, not those things. But you can't teach me that because nobody has ever read the Bible and changed. No, your grandmother loved you when you should not have got loved. That changed you. When you were not a good person and Jerome still said, come here. And when you thought Jerome was going to bring it up and he never mentioned it to you after 3 hours, and it's and for you, you know he know. They already told you he know, and he ain't changed his behavior about you. And you walked away, and that drive home to the car, that drive home in the car, God ministered to you, see? I sent Jerome to you on purpose. That bag that your seekers and your workers and your believers need, Tracy, is their own filth. No, Jerome is not going to post content today or tomorrow. That's his bag protecting himself. But it's perfectly okay because I ain't getting on him about it.
Can I say this real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I got about 5 more minutes and I'm done.
There's something that God has given me, and I have to say it. If not, then I'm gonna be in trouble. So
you ain't bother me.
Faith without works is dead. Right? So now the faith that people are thinking on, they're missing what God is saying to them, if that makes sense. Because everything that we do to others is supposed to be based on the faith in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? Above all, in Christ, because all is for him and because of him, right?
Keep going, just as long as you know that's your bag and your water. It makes you more effective.
That's my bag and my water.
There you go.
Right. So now, because of people separating that faith from the works, it causes us to choose, pick, and select.
Fair enough.
So what is supposed to be done, according to God, faith without works is dead. And we don't have the right to choose what works people do.
That's right. I can
because
agree with that.
It's through whatever they are doing that helps them to get that faith.
Right.
Because any and everybody don't have the same exact faith. Everyone has been given a measure of faith, but the the example that has been given to us is the mustard seed of faith.
Right.
Because that is the smallest that there is that has been given. So if we treat each other in the same line of having faith, period, then we will meet together and respect each other's whatever the work is, because God is doing the work through that work. Because
Fair enough. Let me address that by ending with this story. It's a true story. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. I'm writing a book for and with a gay man. And name is unimportant, etc. And the book is incredible. And the book is insanely gay. And I'm the lead writer. And now I'm become every day a gay man. And I put on my gay language. And I mean like flamboyantly gay too. Like I actually had to tone the gayness down. Now hear me well, hear me well. Like if you've been triggered so far, you got a problem, right? Hear me, just hear me. And me and this gay man are having so much fun writing this gay book that's very positive about how, let's just say gay people are doing well. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to give too much away. And this gay man was already my friend. It's becoming a closer friend. We are genuine friends. And this gay man cannot wait to bring thousands, millions of gay people to my community. Why? Because the only time the word gay come up is when I'm talking to y'all in the last 2 minutes. We're just people. That's it. Two dudes that laugh, joke, and sometimes we can't stand none of y'all. When they hear this, they're gonna laugh at that part. You understand? We can't stand none of y'all. None of y'all. But that's a cycle of faith, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes you just get tired of folk. You understand? Even Jesus had to steal away for a little bit, Tracy, and recharge. You understand? He was around people too much. And that is how I choose to end this call. Like Paul, I'd rather be all things to all people. I am as straight gets. Child, there is nothing about me not straight. I'm too straight. I need to learn to clean up behind myself. I'm too straight. You understand? I gotta get better at that. I'm pee on the toilet seat straight. You hear me? Like, you know, I may not iron my clothes or take a bath today straight. You understand? You know, like, you know, I still need some home training straight, Tracy. You understand? I need some, you're asking me, can you soften up? Golly. But I get along with gay people so well because they're not gay. They're people. There is no distinction. Like, I need y'all to receive this. We are members of one body. And it just makes sense to me. Now, don't agree with this. Just listen to me. It just makes sense to me that God liked them too. Probably more than me. Probably more than me. Yes, ma'am, Susan.
You know, I grew up with a gay brother, you know, and knowing it all through childhood. I mean, my other two brothers shared a bedroom, and I shared a bedroom with this brother. And you know, he was my best friend. And you know, I watched all that he went through as a child. And then when he went to France and studied in France and, you know, had some great experiences there and really got to be himself and all that for the first time. And, you know, losing him.
Heartbreaking.
Yes. I mean, really heartbreaking. He was a brilliant, brilliant guy and loved all his students, loved him, just beloved by everyone. But he was no nonsense, you know, he'd tell you straight out, you know, but he was very smart. And, you know, I have several cousins that are gay too. And my one cousin that lives in Miami, and then they live in P-Town, Providence Town, you know, on the Cape. That's another place where gays, they have a place there too. He is the editor and the main guy with Queer magazine for years. That, you know, sometime if you ever want to talk to him, you know, I think they're in P-Town now. Yeah. They leave Miami when it's too hot here and go there. And they know a lot of cool people go there. And, you know, we lived here and we were in Fort Lauderdale. We lived, Wilton Manor is, I would say, the third biggest place, you know, that the whole town, and just hanging out with those people. So I've been hanging out with those people for all my life. And they're just people.
As is all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just all just the people. You know, we just have different thoughts and feelings about things.
Just people.
And desires, you know.
That's it. Susan's right. Susan's right. Tracy, I end you with this. You transform people by letting them keep their filth. Whatever you think they need to change, trust me, it is the reason why they're paying attention to you. They know they need to change it. Without contrast, ain't nobody trying to pay attention to you, Tracy. For what? If you got what I got, why would I follow you? But you literally trying to take away the reason I'm following you. I'm following you because I ain't got it. If we the same, I'm looking for somebody greater than you, aren't I? Yeah.
Antonio.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you watch this thing that I've asked you to watch, you're going to experience all kinds of stuff in there.
Oh, I'm so gonna watch it. Okay, I'll watch it so I get on the phone with Prophet Jerry every day.
It evolves. You know, in the beginning you might not,
it.
you know, get, and then it just gets like, and you know, one character, Lenny Bruce, who's big in there. I mean, he was a real comedian. But there's all kinds of stuff because it's all in bars and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I definitely want to see it. You know, I likes me. I fancies me a bar. I haven't been to one since in my early 20s, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's where most of it is.
That's where most of it is. I love it.
But then one of the dads reminds me because he was rebellious and had his own thoughts early on, and you know, and you know, he was a big professor. But then they, you know, things, it's just, there's so much.
Yeah, I'm looking. I definitely down just put that on the immediate list for the day.
Might be good for you with what you're writing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm glad you know that too. I'm looking for inspiration everywhere too. Inspiration everywhere. Tracy, don't change me. Show me the contrast. Then I will go from seeker to believer. When I'm a believer, show me the contrast. This is what believers do. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. One day, we hope you become a worker because we do this. We help people. We do this. Just contrast, contrast, contrast. Show me that, because human beings only move to contrast to contrast. My final words. There is no way on planet Earth, Tracy, that you got this far without contrast. When Tracy had her daughter, the contrast was, oh, this little baby need me to make money. So she went and made money. Now that her daughter is grown, Tracy's going, oh, my little baby, because she's still a baby. My little baby needs to be an adult. I guess I got to be a better adult, a better mentor. She went from mama to mentor. Right? It's the contrast that keeps you leveling up. That's how you transform. That's why I say disciples to last. Instead of doing 2 days, I did it in 1. That's why we're 30 minutes old. This is how we get it done. Nobody here is perfect, and you don't need to be. But what is great is that me and Melissa couldn't be closer friends if we tried. And me and Melissa couldn't be further apart if we tried. We also very much alike without trying. Why? Because we're people. I like what Melissa like. I do. I'm giving her passwords. Here, you check out these presets. I'm not going to do that. You transfer it. I don't know what happened. Still don't know what happened. Ain't logged in since. Don't care. Because I know Melissa got me. That's just people. You change Tracy by not trying to change people, by just showing them over here, this is where you're going to be next. Do that, you'll make a lot of money. All right, y'all. We'll see you. Is it Thursday today? Okay. We'll see you tonight. Speaking of, Thursday at 11 o'clock-ish is coming back. We won't say nothing. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's a big deal, and y'all going to like it a whole lot. But don't worry about it. I think we was at 11 or 12, but we're going to get with law and see what time. I don't think law scheduling changed, but anyway, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. We'll do that. And Tracy, keep eating well. And Jamal, keep eating well. And Jerome, I need some pancakes when I come back up there. You understand? Because you took me to that good old spot. You understand?
Man, look,
the butter ran off the pancakes. You hear me,
not
Tracy?
without me, because when I tell you I've been wanting a good pair, a good stack of pancakes lately, just nice and fluffy.
You can't eat that right now.
And I know.
You're releasing weight very well. You can't do that right now.
But if we go to Jerome,
if you add some weight resistance to your workouts, though, she do calisthenics. Yeah,
I got resistance. I got enough weight on me to have enough weight resistance. Okay.
Fair enough. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy. We'll see you tonight at 6. You can plant better. You can dominate. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
Love you more.
Yeah, have a good one.
Who loves you, baby?